Indy, Monaco, Le Mans. There are many great races in the world, but for amateur drivers, one race stands above all others. For the past 50 years, the Sports Car Club of America Runoffs has been the pinnacle of amateur motorsports. A single, winner-take-all event that can take a lifetime to win and only split seconds to lose. This is where champions are crowned, where professional careers are launched. This is where greatness is born.
Starting this field of 20 cars in the GT Lite category, going to be some fierce action as Bobby Robert Lentz Jr. looks for his first championship, and I believe we have him on the grid with John Bizignano.
Well, the pole setter is with me, Bobby Lentz, and we were talking here, and you were saying some incredible things. First of all, you need some luck, because you haven't had it the last few times at the runoffs.
No, not at all. 2 years ago, I was leading the race, and my transmission let me down. I had qualified second. Last year, I had also qualified second and was leading the race going into Canada when it started raining.
I remember that.
Yeah, just in that corner of the track, and I looped it in front of the whole field. They all went past. I got it back together and ended up finishing second by a couple of hundredths. So, yeah, I needed a little luck this year. So this year.
Well, you have more than luck. You also have the pole by more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, we did a lot of testing this weekend, and it really made a difference. When qualifying came, I was completely ready, and went out there and the first flying lap was able to put that lap down and came right in. I knew that would hold.
GTL, tell me a little bit about this class.
These are purpose-built race cars, tube-frame cars, very just amazing cars to drive. Go-karts, big go-karts with restricted motors that last forever. It's a builder's class, right? A tinkerer's class, and working on the chassis, working on the suspension. We do, almost everybody in the field is running data acquisition and spending a lot of time kind of looking at how we're doing and where we're going. And it's one of the few tinkerer's class left in the club. A lot of spec classes, a lot of classes where you can't do anything, a lot of limited prep. And so it's a relatively unique class in the club, and I think and showing some nice growth so far.
Growth, and what I like is the big go-kart approach. And when you say that the engines last forever, I mean, that's huge with the budget.
Yeah, I get about we run single inlet restrictors on these, which severely limit the revs. This is an 1800 cc motor. I shipped it at 6,700 RPM, so it's 20 or 30 hours between rebuilds.
So now you've won in your home region all season long. You're here at the runoffs. What's the season cost?
Oh, probably maybe 15 to 20,000 over the season, including tires. I don't know a cheaper form of racing that's more fun than that. Now that doesn't count the hours put into your tinkering. No, lots of hours on all our cars. We have a team, myself and Brian Downey is a little further back on the grid, and my father races GT2, and we spend a lot of time together working on our cars.
Well, here's a man that not only loves racing, but he loves this GTL, guys. And, you know, as you said, this is the way the Sports Car Club of America started. You know, going from modifying production cars to a purpose-built race car. Well, I'll tell you, Bobby, I don't know. I don't want to hex you, but let's bring home that gold.
That's the plan. Thanks very much.
All right, guys, back to you.
Well, Randy, got a good interview there with Bobby Lentz. He sort of told us about this class. What else do you know about it?
You heard most of what I know about it, quite honestly, except I'm aware that it is a class for race car builders, for people that are interested in tuning on the chassis and making a car faster. Whereas the spec chassis, the spec series, are more about driver. You as a driver doing the best you can with a car that is reliable and inexpensive to run. There's a whole element that I greatly enjoy in terms of setup, and that's what's going on here. The restrictor motors are a great idea also because that keeps the costs down. When you have engines that are highly tweaked, you're taking an engine that's designed for 6,000 RPM and you're revving it to 9,000 RPM, which is the history of GT and production car racing. They don't last very long. It's tremendously stressed and very expensive to run an engine like that. So it's a great idea because, you know what, it doesn't matter if this motor is all tweaked out to the max. What matters is the racing, and you can still work on your tuning and you have your creativity in the engine design within the parameters of the restrictor.
Yeah, the cool thing I like about this is that you can start with that blank sheet of paper. You can create your own chassis. You can buy a chassis, a tube frame car, so to speak, build that up. Or, hey, you got like a Mazda Miata there. We saw, Kent Prather, his Mazda Miata. That's a unibody car that he's heavily modified to make the GT class, racing on a slick. It's really, like you said, a builder class, something that you can park in your garage, work on it, add a new part. I mean, for me, it'd be like, okay, I'm going to save up this month, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to save up next month, I'm going to buy this. And I think that's for a lot of our racers here in the GTL category.
Or you bring your welder out and you do some drawings and you redesign your front suspension and move those roll centers around. A lot of that really hardcore race car stuff that, as Bob Lentz mentioned, very few of the SCCA classes are that open anymore, because in a lot of ways that can be expensive. But in GT Lite, it's not.
Yeah, relatively inexpensive class and a heavily competition. Of course, was talking with Bobby Lentz earlier. He said, well, I did go a lot quicker than the second place car, a little over 2 seconds, but with these little cars, small displacement, low revs, I didn't really get that on my own. I did have some help. He says drafting here on these track and these little cars is very, very important.
A la Spec Miata.
Yep. And one more word from our man down on pit lane. Biz?
This is my 17th broadcast at the Runoffs, but it's Kent Prather's 30th consecutive runoffs. And that type of effort cannot be done alone, as you can see at the very moment. He needs help in even getting his helmet on. But here in this great class, this GTL, I know you just put on your helmet, Kent, but just tell us a little bit about what you think of this particular class. And you also said that your qualifying time doesn't really represent your speed and what you hope to do in the race.
Well, we only had 3 days of qualifying, and 2 of them got rained out. So, we got 7 laps. We know the track. It'll be good. We've got some really great competitors this year. GT Lite is a fun class. There's a lot of people building these cars. I'm hoping we get more and more people coming out to build this. It's a kind of a tuner's class. If you want to do a restricted kind of car, then go to Spec Miata. If you want to fiddle with it a little bit, this is their class for you.
Well, you've always enjoyed fiddling with your cars, for heaven's sakes. But that's where the speed comes. It's the guy who I know you've put just as much time in it as everyone else, but you have to learn from that every single time and make it better.
That's exactly what you do. You got to test this, test that. Like the wing, for instance, we put that on. It really made a big difference. Just have to keep working on your engine package. Just keep doing stuff. And if you're in the spec class, you can't do that. So that's why I love it so much. Thanks for asking.
Kent, I got to show. I have to reveal one thing down here in the cockpit, Mark. If you can get this, the 2 4-leaf clovers that are sitting just behind the shifter. What's the story behind those, Kent?
Well, actually, this one is a 6-leaf clover, and this will be the 6th national championship on this car if I win. And the other one's a 4-leaf clover that we found here. So we're just trying to get all the luck we can get.
Well, it takes a lot of hard work and an awful lot of talent, and this team has always had both of those. So congratulations on your 30th start, mate. I want to shake your hand.
Thank you very much.
All right, he left some time out on the track, so he says it's all about the race, not about qualifying. We'll see how that goes for him.
Well, good job from Kent Prather there, and 30th consecutive start, 8 championships he's gotten. I think those clovers are working pretty good.
And if I recall right, Kent Prather was running the same MGA for many, many years, correct?
Yeah, actually, I think he just switched over to that Miata not too long ago.
Yeah, one of my heroes, always with first-class, beautifully prepared equipment. And now he's in the Mazda Miata, and he's one of the race car builders. And that's, again, getting back to the roots of SCCA, tuning a car and making it faster. And I really enjoy that part when I'm on a race team, especially the suspension setup and shock settings and moving roll centers and anti-sway bar versus spring rate. Really interesting parts of the whole speed formula.
One to watch out for is going to be that car right there, the number 8. Steve Sargis had a terrible year in F Productions and F Production did not qualify for the runoffs, chose to use his champions provisional to come into the GT Lite category. He qualified in the 12th position, two-time champion in the F Production in 2011 and the reigning champion 2012. Didn't quite get it this year, didn't even run.
Steve Sargis starting 12th, has got a long way to go, but we've seen that happen. Another dark horse here, Jonathan Goodale, who grew up autocrossing, and I knew his father, Bill Goodale, who was a top autocrosser. So you know this guy knows how to drive. He's got an MX-5. He's sitting 7th on the grid, qualified in the 37s. I think this could be a very interesting race to see how it plays out.
A lot of different makes and models. You see the Nissan there in the front, Honda Civic CRX, second place. Looks like an Acura. I don't know what that is. Civic with an Acura Integra front end, it looks like, but it's got those little,
he's got the
small hole lights in the
little
front.
round lights. Yeah, but it's a Honda CRX.
And the Mazda Miata behind them looks like another Honda CRX, Toyota Corolla, or Toyota Tercel, I believe. Yeah, smaller than a Corolla. Little Terceller. That's another tube frame chassis car.
Little sweetheart of a race car. In a sense, the sedans are almost like miniature NASCAR cars. They have an engine from the manufacturer, but they have a full tube frame. And I believe that most of these cars are rear drives.
Yeah, not sure if you have to maintain. I'm pretty sure, because I go back to Joe Huffaker and his GT5 Mini. Yeah. You're allowed to change the layout, and I believe those rules transferred over to GT Lite, where you can, this was life. In real life, the Sentra is a front-wheel drive car, but it goes to a rear-wheel drive.
They're light. They're well balanced. They're rear drive. Pretty cool machines. You know what? I think some of these could be front drive, and I'm sorry, fans, that I don't have a little better information for you on that definition, but we can kind of tell how they handle sometimes.
Well, if anybody can do that, it will be Randy Popst up here in the booth with you. John Bizignano will be on pit lane, get a winner interview. My name is Jeff Lepper, and we will get underway here. Let's go ahead and look at your grid in our GT Lite category. You see our Mazda leader scroll on the top of your screen, but starting on the pole, winning that Safe Racer pole position award and a driver's suit, Bobby Lentz out of Chantilly, Virginia, in the FGR Hoosier Nissan Sentra SER. Bob Clark starts on the outside of the pole, and number 77 from Glendale, Wisconsin, local here in that JDM Group Raglan Racing Honda CRX. Peter Shadowin, the number 72, West Palm Beach, Florida, Road in Race Automotive, Redline Oil, Honda CRX in third. Starting in fourth, the 8-time champion, Kent Prather, out of Wakarusa, Kansas, I think is how you say that. The Prather Racing, Mazda Speed, Moss Motors, Mazda Miata. Starting in fifth, Chris Bovis, out of Lawrence, Kansas, in that JDM Motorsports Hoosier Tire, Honda CRX. In the sixth position, Kyle Disk from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Toyota TRD Hoosier Tire. I said it before, Toyota Tercel. Jonathan Goodall out of Conifer, Colorado, up there with my buddy Scott Beauvais and Mazda Speed Hoosier, JoeApex.com, Mazda Miata. Starting in eighth, Brian Downey out of Bristow, Virginia, the Freedom Behind the Wheel, Nissan 200SX SER. Peter Zirkit out of Maryland Heights, Missouri, starts in the ninth position, the Weisco Pistons Redline RKI Group Nissan 200SX SER. And starting in 10th, Charles Leonard out of Palmetto, Florida, the JB Racing Hoosier Tire Nissan 200SX SER.
Following up behind Charles, Daniel Meller from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, just down the road, barely an hour, and another Toyota Tercel, sponsored by Core Consulting. 12th on the grid, there's one of the dark horses, Steve Sargis. Look for him to make him run to the front in his SBS batteries, Hoosier Tire Triumph Spitfire. Behind him in 14th, Noel Hayward, all the way from Vallejo, California. Look for him to be quick when we go to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca next year. C.W. Horton General Contractor, Redline Oil, MG Midget. 15th, Roy Lopshire Jr., Blue Springs, Missouri, with the TRD Williams Racing Hoosier Tire Toyota Tercel. 16th, Lance Stout, Cornelius, Oregon, Loinings Engine Service, EFM Racing, Nissan Sentra. 17th, Jamie Hausman, a multi-time champion, way back there in 17th in the racegearbox.com Honda CRX. Would not be surprised to see that number 33 car moving up on the grid in the race. 18th, number 70, Brian Floyd from Clarion, Pennsylvania, Burnt Waffle Enterprises Nissan 200SX. He's cooking breakfast for us all tomorrow. 19th, number 44, Robert Bax in a Nissan Sentra from Cincinnati, Ohio, the DLB and J&N Auto Electric car. And 59th, number 59, 20th on the grid, Greg Socha, Richland, Michigan, with a Toyota Celica.
And he did make the field there. You do see all 20 cars coming out of the pit lane onto this front stretch, getting the heat in those tires and full-on racing slick. No DOT tire here, no street tire. It is a true racing tire. A lot of air pressure you got to get built up on them. Really soft tire too. Now they do have a choice of tire compounds among all the different manufacturers with these slicks.
Yeah, and we're getting some track temp now. It's up into the 60s now, the warmest it's been all day. And these cars are going to have no trouble getting some tire temperature. They're real race cars underneath those skins.
See the good shot there out of turn number 3 underneath that Sargento Bridge here at Road America. Our final race of the 2013 50th running of the SCCA Runoffs here at Road America. Next year, you said it before, going to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, and then 2015 on to Daytona International Speedway. I think that's great, moving the runoffs around. I have been kind of rooting for that all year long. Get the West Coast guys, get a West Coast race. East Coast guys, get a East Coast race. Guys that have been on East Coast their entire life get a chance to come race at a great racetrack like Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. The history there. Can't wait to get down to Daytona Speedway. I mean, a place where, you know, NASCAR was born, to get to run on the track where Richard Petty won his championship at, where he has won the Daytona 500. I mean, that's got to be special for a lot of people.
Pretty cool. I think I'm going to try and dig up a Volvo to run at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca next year. We've seen one, the P1800 in E-Production, I think it was. And there need to be more out there. And I'm having such a great time. I'd like to do it again.
I think we need to try to get with the SCCA staff here. I mean, yeah, winning a Safe Racer award, but I know Rolex does a lot of stuff at Daytona as well. I think we can get some Rolex watches for our champions at Daytona in 2 years.
I think Eric Prill, our marketing vice president, can set up a program just like that.
I think they should get on that, yeah. A lot of history at Daytona with Rolex.
It'd be good for entries. As we watch Peter Shadowin go down through turn 8, Shadowin in that yellow CRX with the wing and the image of the little round headlights, kind of like an Integra, was really quick in the rain. I was down there on the outside at 8 watching everybody come through there a couple of days ago, and Shadowin was quick. So he's got a car that works in the wet, and he qualified well in the dry. It's a nice package, I think.
I like watching James Hargrove in that Honda Civic. It's sort of a Civic as the old CVCC size Civic. It's a really small little car. It is a tube car, but with the body on it, it's really great going back to that old school look. I mean, those
first gen.
The first gen Civic. We talk about all the JDM tuning and Civic, and that's old school there.
Yeah, I like the look of that Civic with the big flares on it. We'll have to take a look at that. There's those 3 Sentra SERs. They're right together on the grid. Brian Downey, Peter Zeckert, and Charles Leonard from 8th to 10th.
The field coming through the kink. Probably the slowest they'll be at the kink all race long, as these guys should be flat out right through there with the grip these cars have, the setup you can do on these cars. It's going to be a barn burner with Bobby Lentz looking for a national champion. He's had heartbreak the last 2 years. His dad had heartbreak earlier in the race. He's making his 5th start here. No championships. He's looking for a number 1.
These runoffs races are relatively long for the nationals and majors racers that we see. 45 minutes, that's an endurance race for a lot of these tweaked out race cars.
13 laps for 40 minutes coming up as they come out of turn number 12, down the hill through 13. Braking zone for 14, up the hill, being led by that beautiful Chevy Corvette, the Road America pace car.
Kent Prather in the second row there. He looks threatening.
Well, I think if you have 8 championships, you'd be threatening. I think a lot of these guys lining up along him, you know, intimidation has to play a little bit. We have 1 rookie in the field, and that's Greg Socha in his Toyota Celica starting shotgun on the field.
Nerves are tight. Here we go to the flag. We're waiting, we're waiting.
Side by side. There it is, green flag, and we're underway for the 2013 GT Lite 50th running of the SCCA Runoffs, and there it is, going to try to make it 3 wide, the number 72, Peter Shadowin. On the inside, though, it is Bobby Lentz. On the outside, though, watch out for that Honda. That's Bob Clark, your second starter here into turn number 1. It will be Bobby Lentz. The side-by-side, Kent Prather, and the CRX there of Christopher Bovis.
Looks like Lentz didn't get off the line real well, but by the time he got up a couple gears, that 1800cc started pulling, and he put it in the lead.
So it is Bob Clark in second, Christopher Bovis in third, Kent Prather back to fourth, and all the way back is Bob Clark into fifth.
Bovis up from fifth. He got a good jump on that start.
Yeah, Shadowin fifth. Apologize about that. Here's Bobby Lentz now leading the group down the hill as everybody's spreading out still 2 by 2 as they come down the hill into the braking zone into turn 5.
It's a drag race. It's the horsepower wars. Might as well be a dyno, those long straightaways. Look at that dive bomb from the Nissan Sentra. The 63 car of Brian Downey.
Brian Downey doing a good job moving up through the field.
Moving to the front. Ahead of Prather. Ahead of Shadowin. A lot of shuffling in the field on this first lap. So far clean.
Saw the Toyota Tercel there of Kyle Diss.
Yeah, is he missing body work, or is that the body design?
I think that's the body design there, but it does look like that. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. And here is the number 63 of Brian Downey getting a great start up to fourth place, right behind Bob Clark in the number 77 Honda CRX.
And he started eighth.
He sure did. Came up through the field already this early. He's got a little ways to go if he wants to catch Bobby Lentz.
Lentz is on the move. He's being chased there by Bob Clark. Right now they're gapping the field.
Yeah, Bob Clark in third. Second place, I believe that's Christopher Bovis out of Lawrence, Kansas.
Prather drifting that car through the cake. He's still on it. He's still got it.
That's the 78 CRX of Christopher Bovis in second place. And a pass to the inside in Canada corner there for number 63. Brian Downey continues his charge. That's going to hold up Bob Clark a little bit. Kent Prather now on his back bumper trying to see if he can take advantage of that move made by Downey through Canada corner for that third position.
Looks like that Prather Miata is a real handling machine.
You got to hope it comes on near the end here in fifth. Is
Downey
that 8-time champion?
Downey has come out of the grid with both guns blazing. Got it from 8th all the way up to 3rd and still looking good.
And this was a group that got 0 qualifying time on Wednesday and Thursday. I believe Wednesday only about 3 cars took a time in the rain and only 1 or 2 cars did it on Thursday. Rain sessions all along. They got it done on Tuesday. Had a long time to think about the changes they were going to make. And it looks like Brian Downey did make the right changes, but now he's back under attack by Bob Clark. Right there, boy, you cannot slip a piece of paper between those two guys as Kent Prather saying, come on, guys, please get side by side because I'll go around both of you here and try to run down Bobby Lentz and the second place car there of Chris Bovis.
Prather pulling out. It looks like he wants to pass.
Nope,
and he's getting held off because everybody wants to pass, and it's hard to get by Downey on the straight. Down the inside, here we go.
Yeah, look at that. Made the pass in the braking zone was Bob Clark. Prather trying to follow him through, not able to make it happen as Downey shuts the door. Great battle here for the third place, and it belongs to Bob Clark now. I'll tell you what, Bovis just had Bovis up in second, and Downey had that third position. He's back to fourth.
Lentz still leading. Bovis looks like he's able to keep up. There's a 1 second gap last time across the line.
Here's Sargis now, that number 8, moving through the field. Looks like he's up to about 7th place.
Steve always has a beautifully prepared car, and he's within range.
He's up at the 8th, actually.
Peter Shadowin dropped back to 7th. Early in the race, he's just not going like he did in qualifying.
That Triumph Spitfire looking great coming down through the carousel, but here is Kent Prather, the 8-time SCCA Runoffs national champion.
Shadowin in that yellow CRX, followed by Sargis.
Oh, and we have a car sideways there as
Robert Bax
comes out of turn number 8.
Trying to get it going.
Gets it back underway. Now you got to be careful out there in the grass with the rain that we've had. A lot of mud out there. Don't want to get that car stuck.
Downey not able to keep up with Bob Clark this lap. Clark's on his way to try to run down Bovis and Lentz.
Yeah, Bovis and Lentz really pulling out. They have about a 3-second lead over this
Whoa,
group of cars
look
here.
At that. This is the truth. The battle's back here for 4th place right now. Maybe 3rd.
Yeah, not quite 3rd. The best thing these 3 guys could do is team up and run down, and there
Look at Sargis.
he's getting a move as Sargis
Right by shadowing.
got some power out of that car. It comes down now.
That little Spitfire is slick. Look how little frontal area he's got compared to that CRX behind him.
Kent Prather getting around. It looked like Brian Downey there for that 4th position. Kent Prather now on the move.
You see Sargis turn in there, just bang, that car, he cracks the wheel, pow, into the corner. Watch this. A little more smooth, laying it into turn 3.
Has that car planted, it looks like, but here is the lead battle now with Bobby Lentz and Christopher Bovis. And Lentz not pulling out to that qualifying gap that he did. You'd think with a 2-second lead in qualifying, he would have checked out by now, but Christopher Bovis is keeping him honest. Bob Clark in 3rd, Kent Prather on the move, coming up here onto Bob Clark. Out of turn number 5, up the hill, underneath the Corvette bridge, and
I saw something coming out of that Honda CRX.
Saw
Didn't look
some
too
smoke
encouraging.
there.
But guess what? Bovis is actually quicker than Lentz on the last lap. They're up there running neck and neck. Maybe Bovis can even reel him in. He's got the fastest lap of the race right now. There's Lentz, 60 car. There's Bovis in the blue CRX chasing him down as they enter the carousel.
Well, you say he was faster. How faster was he, Randy?
Okay, 0.03 of a second is still faster.
That's true. It is. The numbers don't lie.
Jeff, if this relationship is going to work, you're going to have to not be as persnickety about some of these details. You got to give me some room here.
Persnickety? We call that a Randyism.
Can I work with Schrader next year?
Here's Bobby Lentz coming down through Canada corner. Back to the action there, Randy. How about that?
I think that's a darn good idea because Bobby Lentz is leading this race. Christopher Bovis is holding the pace. He's chasing him. He's not running him down yet, but he can go every bit as fast. And you know what? Further back in the field, Sargis is in the 35s. So he's on the leader's pace. He's just got a long way to go to work his way up there.
Well, I know Bovis wants to keep the pressure on because we said it before at the top of the show. Lentz has had some bad luck here the last couple of years. Transmission issue, the rain in Canada corner. He's the one that spun in front of the entire field. If Bovis can keep the pressure on, causing Lentz to push, who knows? We might have a reliability issue again.
That's an important part of racing is the pressure.
And look at Prather now, the battle for 3rd over Bob Clark into turn number 1. Got a great run. Clark doesn't want to give it to him, though.
He's inside. He's got the line, and he takes the position.
Kent Prather into 3rd, the 8-time Runoffs champion. Bob Clark peeking his nose through, but Clark still continued to smoke a little bit.
Okay, they're coming on the back straight, heading under the Sargento Cheese Bridge. On the way to turn 5, let's see if that draft is enough to get Bob Clark's CRX back by Prather. Or will he stay tucked in? There's Sargis back there. He's coming. He's gotten by the Nissan Sentra contingent.
Down into the braking zone. Bob Clark looking really good in that Honda CRX. Way
Prather wide
to the inside. Whoa!
Kent
Prather, yeah, says, oh yeah? Boy. Not sure if that was a little bit of a mistake or just Kent Prather trying to gather it back up. I don't think he would do that intentionally. Bob Clark, great heads up from him, looking to the left.
He was just letting him know, you know, a little turf war thing going on there. They didn't touch. Bob Clark says, guess what, I'm coming. Or maybe not. But I just want you thinking about me. I'm trying to make you sweat.
Boy, Kent Prather using all of the racetrack. This is my track. You may have it when I am done towards Bob Clark. As Prather in 3rd, Bob Clark 4th. But Sargis is coming. He's back there in 5th. You got to watch out for that 7-time champion. Oh, a lot of smoke that time out of Bob Clark's. Had a big puff there.
Yeah, I think there's some oil rolling around in there, a leak maybe, and it drops on the headers when he turns. But Prather may be leaving him behind. Prather's in the 34s now, as are both Lentz and Bovis up front. Sargis is at 35, so he's working on it. There he is, Steve Sargis. working his way through this field. Looks like he's got the Spitfire working today.
Yeah, getting up into this battle now. The gap was 4 seconds, and you can clearly see that's not a 4-second gap anymore. Almost closing it right up. And
Downey has dropped back. He's not on the pace he was early in the race.
you know, he really pushed there at the beginning. I
we got trouble.
Yeah.
CRXs get together.
thought I heard something there in my headset. And,
That's shadowing.
right through Canada Corner. And not sure that either one of those cars are going to be able to get going again.
Yeah, it looks like the red CRX is highly damaged, but it's just a little fiberglass door got knocked off of there. Shoot, I'd back that up and get the heck out of there. But the shadow and yellow CRX looks like it has some pretty good damage in the right rear. Hard to get the car numbers when they're knocking the doors off of them.
Yeah, look at Sargent's there to the inside of Bob Clark down into turn
There he
number
goes.
3. Comes out and makes that move into 4th now. Wow, this is going to be a great battle for the lead, and we'll have to see how this plays out with those two guys on the outside of Canada Corner. Chris Bovis in 2nd drops the gap as well to Bobby Lentz, only 0.8 seconds. Boy, we got battles heating up all over the place here in GTL.
Bovis has the fastest lap. He's at a 33.9, first guy into the 33s, and he's running 2nd, but maybe not for long. Sargent's trying to stay ahead of that CRX and Bob Clark. I think he might be able to pull him as we get into the twisty bits here at Road America, turn 6 right here.
Well, Steve Sargent needs some luck. He had bad luck all season long, was not able to qualify in F production, used his champion's provisional to come into GTL, and putting that provisional to good use. Up to 4th place now. Kent Prather is in 3rd. Christopher Bovis is on the move in 2nd and leading it. Bobby Lentz for the 3rd year in a row in GTL.
That is the ultimate Triumph Spitfire right there. I guarantee you Sargent has put together quite a fine package. Looks like it's working great. Still running the antique Triumph engine, but gets to run a lot lighter than anybody else in the field. He's gone without a wing, so he has no downforce, unlike Prather ahead of him. But Prather, in a sense, needs more downforce because he's got more weight, probably a lot more weight with that double overhead cam modern Mazda Miata engine.
We do have a waving yellow down there in Canada Corner, so these drivers will have to tiptoe their way through there, as safety crews should be on scene or pretty close to it. Yes, they are. We are going full course yellow. We have no choice there. That is such a dangerous area.
That's great for Kent Prather. That's
sure
going to
is.
bring him right into the battle for the lead.
And Sargent, how about this? Woo!
Actually, I meant Sargent. But this is great for us because this restart's going to be a great show. And Sargent has the speed to run with these leaders. Bovis has the speed to be ahead of Lentz. But everything's going to cool off. We never know what it's going to be like competitively on the restart after everybody cools. Some of the cars benefit from it, some of the cars don't.
Well, when you're watching live there at speedcasttv.com, do not step away from this action. We're going to be right back. The 2013 SCCA Runoffs are brought to you by Mazda. Zoom, zoom.
It's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You wish the freeway on-ramp was your personal racetrack. Well, buckle up, buddy, because the Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and events across the country, the SCCA has all the excitement you can handle. Dance the blacktop two-step with SCCA Solo. Get down and dirty with SCCA Rallycross. Or go wheel-to-wheel with SCCA Club Racing. Hit the track with the SCCA, where America's best drivers race.
He ignored the naysayers and never compromised. When Thomas Edison threw the switch, it changed everything. Engineering without compromise. This is the Mazda way. And this is the Mazda CX-5. Skyactiv technology makes it lighter yet stronger, earning a top safety pick. And more fuel efficient than any hybrid SUV. This is the uncompromised Mazda CX-5. What do you drive?
And welcome back to the 2013 50th running of the SCCA Runoffs here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, Road America. The 4-mile, 14-turn majestic race facility here Probably one of the most beautiful courses in all of North America, if not the world. This is our GTL category, and if you were watching earlier at speedcasttv.com live, I told you not to step away because it is about to get frisky here with Bobby Lentz leading, Christopher Bovis is in second, Kent Prather, the 8-time champion, is in third, 7-time champion Steve Sargis is in fourth, and Bob Clark in fifth. It's anybody's game now, Randy.
The second place car has the fastest lap of the race by 0.6 of a second, which is a long time in this sport. And then I'm thinking back to Brian Downey, who's dropped down to 7th, but boy, he was quick on the start. And he may very well be quick on the restart in his red, white, and blue Nissan Sentra.
Not sure, still working on who those two vehicles that got in the incident were. We believe one of those was Peter Shadowin, and I believe that other car, that 33, the red one, was Jamie Houseman. It's going to be a heartbreak for Houseman, a 3-time Runoffs champion out of this race.
That's a good guess, Jeff Lepper. I believe that is who it was. And I miss having Shadowin out there. He just never really seemed to be on the pace the whole race, did he? He faded right away from the start after starting on the second row.
Yeah, he started in third place and sort of just kept falling back, and hopefully the result of that crash was not a result of that problems he was having.
Right. We don't know what led to it. We just saw them parked there, planted into each other.
Down in Canada corner.
Look how low these cars are. They set them up low. A nice low center of gravity gives you better handling.
Watching the field roll through just past the kink behind our Road America safety car. This was the spot of the incident. A lot of guys starting to wave their cars back and forth, getting the heat built up in the tire, but I think more importantly, they're on race slicks. So you got to get all the debris off the tire.
That's right. When race slicks start to cool off, they start to pick up rubber off the road, and it can be a huge problem. SCCA safety team parks the truck sort of to block the workers. It's better to hit the back of one of these big pickup trucks than to hit any human being. So they use them as a shield.
See Shadowin's car there on the rollback, waiting to get Houseman's car removed. It's the rollback backing up to him, so we'll get these two cars removed. Probably going to have another pace lap here, as do not think we can get back underway.
Right.
Coming down here to turn 14, we'd be going green right now with safety crews still on. They're great as the SCCA crews are. I just don't think they can get it done in that amount of time.
Not by this restart, but maybe before this lap is over. Road America is a long track. When you've got a long track, we're running 2.5 minutes at full speed. So when we're riding around under yellow, we're looking more like 5 or 6 minutes, which is all day, and we want to get back to racing. Robert Lentz, I don't know, he may want it to be as short as possible. I know at Detroit in Pirelli World Challenge, I was leading. Johnny O'Connell was faster, but he was behind me. So when we had those yellows, I wasn't crying about it. It actually helped us notch our only win there for the number 6 car in the K-Pax Volvo.
Well, Bobby Lentz, that completes lap number 6 of 13. 7 more to go. Now it'll be 6 more at the line when they come back around and hopefully take the green flag. It's going to see interesting how this plays out with Christopher Bovis in second, was running faster than our race leader. Kent Prather, the 8-time champion, in third. Steve Sargis in fourth. And you look at those two guys, how about that? 15 championships between our third and fourth place guys.
Pretty amazing. We even got an MG midget back there, Noel Hayward, all the way from Vallejo, California, running GT Lite. Up front, though, that's the place to be. Robert Lentz, that's a Nissan Sentra. Bob Clark faded back a little further into the field, and then Christopher Bovis has rushed to the front. He's running good in this race. Probably did some adjustments that have really worked for him in the race. But like you keep saying, Jeff Lepper, it's a lot easier to catch somebody than it is to pass them.
It sure is, and it's going to be a battle as these guys go down into turn number 1, the draft. Who has more horsepower? Who has the better handling car through turn number 1? At this point in the game, you do not want to make a mistake on this restart, and you have to get that good restart as well.
Part of what makes Road America a great racing track is these long straightaways followed by tight corners like turn 5. That's a long brake zone, which makes it an ideal place to go for a pass.
Well, I got to give a huge shout out to Noel Haywood there from Vallejo, California, and his MG Midget. Not only getting it done in an MG Midget, but I really, really appreciate my new bathroom. Noel was able to remodel my new bathroom in my house, and really just want to say thank you for that. And he was excited about me getting a chance to announce the runoffs and said if I said that, I got to let him know on the mic that he did my bathroom for me. And my fiance loves it. I can't thank him enough for doing that.
Oh, really, Jeff? What countertops did you choose?
Sapphire blue granite.
Nice.
You thought these guys battled on the track in GTL? See me and my fiance battle over the granite type. That was a battle.
And Noel Hayward did the work?
Absolutely. So we should be going green next time by. We'll see those pace car lights go out. Underneath that Johnsonville Speedville Bridge entering the carousel.
Yeah, buddy, let's go racing.
Yeah, look at this. Getting those tires warmed up one final time. Get the last little bit of debris off that. Cinch those belts down. Maybe a good chance to take a drink of water. Kind of catch your breath a little bit. Get back under racing.
Logically, the top 4 cars in this lineup right now have the top 4 fastest times in the race. Bovis has big potential.
Anybody's game.
Anybody's game. After a restart, tires have cooled. Sometimes it has a big effect on the way each chassis performs. We don't know what's going to happen. There's our Civic with the big flares. First generation car.
He said you wanted to see that there. That was cool.
Yeah, good looking. I think that's Jonathan Goodale and the Mazda Miata, and then Daniel Miller in his GT Lite car. Good looking machines all the way back in this field. Well prepared. Lentz has a Sentra. Notice the wings on the sedans are mounted relatively low behind the greenhouse. And then Prather choosing to run a wing on his Miata. It's in much better air. Got a cleaner shot at it. He can take more advantage of that wing.
Well, he did say that it is a tinkering class, and he said it's about testing. He put the wing on, he was faster. So it's just that little tinker that you got to do and test out, and you can test every race weekend at SCCA club races, regionals, nationals. Test it on autocross if you want to. It's a lot of chances to get that done. Go to SCCA.com and find out how.
The big kahuna here, the SCCA runoffs for a national championship. As we come back to the line, nerves getting tight. Everybody's wound up for that restart, trying to get the good jump.
Coming up the hill. Boy, Bobby Lentz is...
Sarge is hanging back. Get on it, Steve. Let's go.
Trying to get the jump there, and it is.
Look,
we're back
under
out. Green. Yeah, not a very good restart for everybody back there. Well, Bobby Lentz got a great restart, but look at Kent Prather on the attack of Christopher Bovis down here into turn number 1. That Miata, look at the brakes here. Boy, see this head big and back around in that Miata. Bob Clark, he loses it. No!
Saves it. Nice save. Steve Sargis around the outside. That was about to get ugly, and he saved it. Good car control.
And Kent Prather still trying to make that move on Bovis for a second. He'll complete it out of turn number 3. Now, can he run down Bobby Lentz? But it's not over yet. Christopher Bovis trying to do that over-under back alongside the 8-time champion as they head down the straightaway under the Sargento Bridge.
I think Bovis is going to beat him to 5. Let's see what happens. All of this really good for Robert Lentz. Really bad for us because we wanted to see the big race for the start.
Kent Prather on the inside.
First place, excuse me.
He's got the great line here in turn number 5.
Oh, yeah, Prather's running good. All the way down the straight.
Over under for Bovis again. CO and a little sideways there for Prather. Can Bovis attack here at the top of the Corvette Bridge, turn 6? Does not seem like it. Looks like Kent Prather up to second place.
Prather holding the lead.
When we talk about how cars handle, Bob Clark got way sideways there in 1. Looks like he put his foot down. I think that's a front-wheel drive CRX.
That's possible.
Looked like that car pulled right away, right in vent, and that's what you said before. I remember from one of our earlier broadcasts, in a front-wheel drive car, you just put your foot down when you get loose.
Yeah, you do. That's the biggest difference, is remembering with a rear drive, if in doubt, both feet out. Thank you, Skip Barber Racing School. Don't get on the pedals. In a front drive, if you're getting sideways, the gas can actually help you.
Steve Sargis still trying to recover from that poor start that he had in 5th, trying to get around Bob Clark for 4th. I saw it back there and did not make it happen that time. Christopher Bovis getting a great run out of the kink, trying to get underneath Kent Prather.
Wow, I was amazed how spread out they were on that restart. Maybe Lentz got on it real early and surprised everybody. Because everybody else just looked like they were just sitting still.
Well, the leader does control the pace of the race. Once that pace car does pull in, gets the green flag and pulled away. Did his job, was young Bobby Lentz.
You know what? There are not a lot of opportunities for club racers to practice restarts. It's really uncommon during an SCCA season because the races are so short. But here at the Runoffs, at the Big Kahuna, they bring out a full course yellow and do the restart. And these guys don't know that the leader can jump real early.
Looks like Daniel Miller in that Toyota Tercel starting to attack Sargis as he's going to pull back in line. Christopher Bovis gets a great run out of 14, able to close that gap over Prather. Prather's car looked like he's fighting the handling on that Miata, a little loose on the exit of 1. Down here through turn 2, Christopher Bovis looking to make a move in 3. Not able to make that happen, but get a good run out of this corner, tuck in behind that Miata, and see what you can do down into turn number 5.
You never know what's going to happen after a restart. And look at Bovis. He's having trouble getting by Prather. Prather is on fire. He got real aggressive. Put that Miata up ahead of that CRX. And now they're duking it out for second while Lentz runs comfortably in the lead by about 3 seconds.
Bovis to the outside. Prather protecting on the inside. His only job here is to try to do that over, under, and get on the inside of Prather and make it stick. Not able to make that happen.
You know what? They were running 33s and 4s before the yellow. Now they're in the 37s. Lentz clicks a 35. Must take a while to get some temperature back in those slicks. Get the stick to run the really fast lap times.
We talked that's the mechanical part. What about from a driver perspective where, you know, you were yellow, you're able to calm yourself down. Now you got to amp yourself back up.
Could be. Got to recharge that focus.
Kent Prather under heavy attack by Christopher Bovis in that little CRX coming through the carousel down the hill. Can he get a run out of the kink and down into Canada corner? Bobby Lentz still in control in his FGR Hoosier Nissan.
Looking good out there. Prather trying to stay ahead of Bovis. Bovis has run a 33.9 not long before that yellow. And all they do is slow down for a few laps. And now he's at a 37, a 38. Surprising.
Boy, Prather gets a great run out of the carousel and through the kink. You saw the gap in the carousel. Clovis was right on his back bumper. Now about a 2-car gap, and wow, Prather, a rare mistake for him out of Canada corner. Drops 2 wheels off, almost 4 wheels off over the bumps.
Didn't help him. Brought Bovis right up to his bumper.
Now Bovis needs to be really smart here. Stay right to the inside. Get a great arc through this corner. Tuck up under that Miata. Use the power of that little Honda Civic. See him. Watch him slingshot out here as they head up the hill.
These are hot-rodded little engines. They are not stock. They're the stock engines tuned up for more horsepower. That CRX and that Miata, both with little 1600cc engines, going for it in GT Lite.
It's going to be a battle to see who hits the brakes first. It is going to be, looks like Christopher Bovis, but he sticks it in there into the nose. What a pass for second place. Christopher Bovis makes it stick over the 8-time champion Kent Prather. Bovis up to second place.
He took the line away, got down inside him, held him up just for an instant as he turned in, and it gave him a nice little gap that he still enjoys. Wow, Bovis is going bye-bye.
He sure is. That last lap was a 2:35.34, lapping about 2/10 quicker than our race leader, who has a 2.6 second head start. Christopher Bovis did this earlier in this race, trying to catch up. You see him saying, go, go, go. You saw his hand shaking in there. Great camera shot.
Yes, indeed. And not far behind is Steve Sargis, who has dispatched Bob Clark. And the Sargis Spitfire is trying to get back in this race. He's running in the low 35s just with the leaders. He's just had that gap develop after the CRX got in his way for a while.
Yeah, still trying to recover from that Porsche restart that he had, sitting in 4th place now.
Lentz surprised everybody. There's Bovis CRX.
You got to think with that gap that they had as well, probably didn't even see the green flag. If they don't have any radios, you're not going to know that you need to do that.
Wow, Jeff, that's a good point. That could have been part of it.
Coming up that big hill.
Of course, I don't think the green was early.
No, not at all.
I think the throttle was early. And when you're in the field, you got to watch that leader, and you got to be ready.
Well, Christopher Bovis looking really good. The Lawrence, Kansas driver, that JDM Motorsports, Little CRX on Hoosier tires. In second place, trying to run down our race leader, Bobby Lentz. He has led flag to flag here, all 9 laps, working lap 10 when they come back by. Steve Sargis doing that little wind-up. He's starting to get faster and faster in these closing stages. Looks like his car's better on long runs. He's got 4 laps left if he's going to make it happen. Actually, about 3.5 laps left.
That little Spitfire just looks so tidy. Low, and it works, and the clean body style. Steve Sargis's cars always look like this. Beautiful paint jobs, smooth, slick bodywork that just looks like it's going to slip through the air with no problem at all. A low CD car. You can't always tell by looking, but it sure looks slick. Triumph Spitfire. They quit selling them in this country back in about 1977 or 8.
And still racing them today. Absolutely awesome. As here's your top 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can count them down this long front stretch here at Road America. Bob Clark in 5th position, followed by that Toyota Tercel of Kyle Disk. Kyle wants to put the battle to Bob Clark, see if he can get a top 5 here at the runoffs. We've seen it before. The 5th place position can easily become the 4th, on to 3rd, 2nd, and even a national championship. You got to be there at the end.
That's right, and in this class, the engines are pretty tweaked. And it's not unusual to have some reliability issues.
Here is Kyle Diss side by side now with Bob Clark.
A shot.
Coming down the hill. He's got the inside line for the braking zone in turn number 5. Will he stick his nose in there? No. Bob Clark shuts that door rigorously coming down into the turn 5 corner.
Late.
Oh, but way off to the wide. Oh, and more smoke out of that car.
More smoke. Could be wheel spin. Kyle Disk coming on later in the race after the restart. Look at this, and up front in the race, the gap is closing between Lentz and Bovis.
Yeah, Bovis, and it's only down to 1.3 seconds. It was 2.5 seconds 2 laps ago.
Look at that, Bovis at a 33.3. He's reset the fastest lap of the race.
On that last lap.
And Lentz is in big trouble right now. Bovis is coming.
Boy, Bobby Lentz just needs to put his head down. Don't worry about your mirrors. Hit your marks. Hit your shift points. Nail those apexes. Go on and try to get that national champion. Same thing for Christopher Bovis. Start increasing your braking zones. He's doing whatever he needs to do. He's getting it done right. He's a half a second quicker, only 1.3 with 3 laps to go.
I think he can do it. He's got a shot. Oh, his CRX is catching that Sentra quickly. I wonder if the Sentra's healthy.
Oh,
or maybe Chris Bovis is just figuring it out.
Yeah, 2 years in a row, Bobby Lentz has had problems. Now, look at the gap there. Christopher Bovis definitely closing in as Bobby Lentz got a little wide and got a little loose.
This could
and his
be it.
Nissan Sentra. Bovis trying to catch that draft down the front stretch. They'll go under the line. 2 to go as they come through the stripe, heading down into turn number 1. It is Bobby Lentz and Christopher Bovis for now. Kent Prather in 3rd and Steve Sargis in 4th. Bob Clark to 5th.
These guys are the hot number in GT Lite right now, a Nissan Sentra and a Honda CRX. And it's neck and neck. Lentz is from Chantilly, Virginia.
Oh, and Bovis drops that lap time down now. The fastest lap of the race at 2:33.161. About 3/10 quicker than his best lap last time.
And a second quicker than anything Lentz has done. Here we go.
Here he is, right on the back bumper of Bobby Lentz. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to go right? Is he going to go left? Which way will Bobby Lentz defend?
And can that CRX run in the draft without overheating?
Never taken that into account yet. We'll have to see how that plays out. But Bobby Lentz still leading through corner number 5. Christopher Bovis on his back bumper. Man, he caught right up to him.
He did. It looks like Bovis's advantage is at apex speed. I think Bovis is handling better. Lentz seems to have the power on the straightaway, and he looks good on the brakes.
We'll see how that handling plays out as they're coming down now out of the turn number 7 into turn number 8. And then we got the carousel, so that's where your car needs to handle. And then you also need to get the power down coming out.
I think Bovis is going to be good through the carousel because I'm guessing that he's quicker through the middle of a corner. So this is like a skid pad. It's all about your cornering power all the way around this carousel. A little bit of smoke shows up out of the back of Bovis's car. Hopefully he's not getting too hot. Some cars don't like to follow in a draft, and they start to overheat and get hot.
And you really got to pay attention as a driver. Start watching those gauges. Your crew should be telling you, hey, be careful, watch those gauges. Oh, and by the way, try to pass this guy for a win.
And that too. There's a lot of things. You have layers of focus. Even when you're trying to pass a guy for the lead, like we're seeing with Bovis right now.
Yeah, gets a great run at a corner onto the inside here. Can he make the pass there? Side by side through turn 13. Down the hill, off to the outside is Bovis into the braking zone, 414 onto the front stretch. Let's see what happens here. Bovis, this is the closest he's been on this front stretch. Catch that draft. Will it be a battle for the lead?
Boy, did he have a run out of Canada corner. Got right up next to Robert Lentz. Wasn't able to make it stick.
1 lap to go. It is 1 lap battle between these two drivers, Bobby Lentz, Christopher Bovis. Bobby Lentz to the inside and his Nissan protecting into turn number 1. He goes back out for the braking zone. Hard on the brakes, turn into turn 1.
This is the final lap. This is for all the marbles. This is for the gold medal.
For a national championship through turn through onto the braking zone, 4-3. Bobby Lentz and his Nissan, about a 1 car length gap back to Christopher Bovis. But Bovis,
he almost hits him.
Wow, Lentz got out of there, and he was a little tap there as he drafts him down this straightaway through 4 down here into turn number 5. Who's it going to be? Bobby Lentz on the inside.
Bovis on the outside. It's not the best place to be in turn 5, and Lentz is good on the brakes. Here they come. It's a real man-to-man contest. Who's going to get it? Lentz, good on the brakes. Can he make it stick?
Boy, Bovis got way out of it earlier. Just a beautiful over-under job by Bovis. Can he make it stick up in 6?
No, he can't get in there.
Wow, great action here. It's nose to tail, side to side, battle to battle for the lead for your GTL National Championship.
Out of 7, now we're heading for 8. This is another opportunity. Lentz is running a little wide. Bovis is having a look. He's not going to try him. Lentz is good on the brakes. He's in hot, though. In hot. Bovis gets the exit.
Bovis going to make a nice big arc here through the carousel. You said he looked like he was handling a little bit better. Can he pounce on him on the straightaway through the kink and down into Canada corner? I got to think if it doesn't happen in Canada corner, I don't think he can hold him off in 14.
Boy, did he get a shot out of Canada corner last time, Bovis. And now down through the kink. Lentz is just really good on the brakes. He's good on the way in. That makes him hard to pass. Bovis right on his bumper as they head through Kettle Bottoms.
Yeah, you said that power of that Nissan out of Bobby Lentz. Here it is. Bobby Lentz way to the inside. He's going to protect it, but that's going to affect his exit. Bovis gets the run coming out of Canada corner.
Again. Lentz gets wide. Lentz gets wide. Stay in it, Chris. Stay in it.
Oh, Bovis to the inside now, side by side, coming down. Oh, they touch for the national champion coming down in turn 14. It will be Bobby Lentz. He'll have the advantage through 14 up on the hill.
It's a drag race to the finish line.
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Nissan or is it going to be Honda?
The CRX, I see the shadows overlapping. Wow. They're side to side. They're coming to the line. We're going to watch this one live.
It is Christopher Bovis. No, it's I don't know. Who knows?
Bovis by a nose, I'm telling you.
Christopher Bovis, your GTL national champion right at the line. Bobby Lentz, Steve Sargis for 3rd, and we lost Kent Prather right there on the last lap, but wow.
Bovis by 0.007 seconds.
Wow, 7,000ths of a second. Do the math, folks, and look at what that gap was. Wow, 7 seconds. 7,000ths of a second.
That was exciting. A little rub down there in turn 13. Hopefully the guys just see that as a little hard racing, which is exactly what it was. There's Prather. Something went wrong there.
Yeah, he's able to nurse it home for the 11th place. Will be Prather.
Is his wing a little offset there?
Man, not sure. Look at that. See if there's any contact, but boy.
Sargis notches a 3rd. But the lead battle, Robert Lentz doing a great job of racing Chris Bovis. Bovis, it was classic. Lentz went to the inside of the last corner, turn 14, to try to protect against a dive bomb. And then Bovis got the run.
Here's that replay. Here they are, side by side, coming out of 12. They bump there, little rub in there, but that gives the advantage, I think, to Bobby Lentz. He has the inside, but he has to protect. That's going to allow Bovis to get that great run out of 14. Didn't really work the draft. He did this all on power. Coming up the hill, side by side for that exit speed at the finish line. Here is your 7,000th of a second gap for a national championship right there.
Whoa, that is not even a bumper sticker of difference between those cars. I love it. Great finish. Chris Bovis reeling in the leader. Robert Lentz leading the whole race except for the last 50 feet.
Yeah, Bobby Lentz led every lap and then some, but you got to lead that last move across the striping. Christopher Bovis was the one that did that. Your 2013 SCCA runoff, 50th running here, GTL National Championship. Congratulations, and wow, what a way to go out with a bang.
I was just going to say, the last race of the weekend has the closest finish of the whole week.
And how about that? Your GoPro hero move of the race going to Christopher Bovis for that pass for a national championship.
I'll tell you what, that whole lap, Bovis was working it. He earned that GoPro Hero 3 camera. That was more fun than a barrel full of monkeys.
Wow, that was amazing. Great stuff here in the GTL category. We told you at the beginning it was going to be good, and it certainly was. We looked at these times, and there is your national champion in the GTL category. Wow, I got to try to go to the statisticians. I'm not sure. Was that the closest finish? Second now.
7,000ths of a second.
The second. We're going to check that stats here. I got our crack team behind us, but in the history of the runoffs, 50 runnings. Is this the closest finish? We're checking the stats right now. I don't remember. I'm trying to think.
That's a close one for sure. And Chris Bovis, he qualified 5th. You know, he actually qualified 4 seconds slower than Robert Lentz. But he's obviously been working on that CRX all week, and he found some speed, and he made it work in this race.
Well, we talk about the modern engineering of these cars. Well, we have modern engineerings in our timing systems with transponders now. No faulting the transponder system or the old hand system we used to use. Both me and you know what we used to use in timing and scoring when you would hold that button before the car gets there. This is the closest finish when you started using transponders in the history.
And let's have John Bizignano ask if that's a front drive car. I'm sorry, fans, for not knowing already.
Well, we'll find out for you, but first I'm going to say a huge congratulations. There's a lot of clapping and an awful lot of celebrating going on over on the pit wall. I'll tell you, Chris had the certainly one of the drives of the entire weekend, and what a great way to end the 50th runoffs. Chris, I congratulations there, coming from all sides of your car. First of all, from Hoosier, the Hoosier Nicholas, 24 out of 28 races Hoosier won today. That was some dominations. Bonnie's putting on the SCCA hat. Chris, I've got to ask you, take us through that last lap.
Well, you know, we after the restart, we lost a little contact with Bobby, and so we just put my head down, tried to catch him, and I tried him twice at 13, which is not usually a good passing place. The third time, I took my shot at him there, didn't get it done. Did my best to square off 14 and hope for the best.
Well, it certainly came out okay for you, but after the restart, you did go backwards a little bit. I mean, did Kent, was he holding you up, or once you got by him, it was clear sailing?
Once I got by him, it was okay. I knew Kent's really hard to pass. He obviously knows his way around the racetrack. But yeah, I was not real happy to see that yellow come out, but it's, you know, like you said, it ended up okay.
This was the second closest finish in the history of 50 years of the SCCA runoff.
That's incredible. That
is incredible. Okay, so you left it to 14 coming up the hill. When you went through that turn, did you know you had the momentum? Did you know you had the power to make it to the flag?
Absolutely not. No, I had no idea. That's pretty remarkable about the margin of victory here. But you know, some things that probably don't know is that Jim Dentisi, who's the reason that I have this car and the reason that I'm here, who's in Italy drinking wine right now, he won the first runoffs at Road America, and we're winning the last for him. And this car was in a fire earlier in the week. I mean, it's just been an incredible week, and I'm just thrilled to end it on a high note.
Well, very high. Let's get that gold medal on you, and I'll tell you, you know, we've been out here for 3 days nonstop, and I would just like to shake your hand for the show you put on for everyone watching.
So
Congratulations. And I think there's going to be more than a little bit of wine being consumed right now. Okay. All right, well, the gentleman that led this entire race, except maybe for the last 20 feet, gosh. Bobby, that talk on the grid that we had, I mean, you had confidence in the car. You showed it the entire race. What happened on the last lap, mate?
He was very fast, and as he reeled me in, I drove as defensively as I could on the last lap, and he seized it on the last corner. And coming out of Canada, got a great run on me. We went side by side all up through Billy Mitchell, and then he had me on motor down the straight.
After the restart, it was a great restart, as a matter of fact. That's the way to do a restart. They should show that at every driving school, how to do a restart. But the car just didn't seem underneath you as much. The lap times were down.
Yeah, I think the tires were starting to go away a little bit on me. I think we'd have been better if we could have just kept going. But restart didn't help me.
Second closest finish in the history of SCCA runoffs.
Yeah, I think I had the first closest finish as a second place, too. It was last year. So.
Well, you were looking for a little bit of change in your luck, but I'll say thank you so much. That silver medal looks great on you. Some of the best driving of the entire weekend. You got to be proud of that. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Third place. Well, this is the little car that could. First of all, you have to see the celebration behind you here, Mark. Now this is a tradition. This is probably not in all the great safety books, but you know, I just think that it's so great that the crews can still celebrate the victory lap. They had to take out the back window to do that, and I think they will be just a little bit chilled when they return. But Steve, I'll tell you, boy, this is the little triumph that can, buddy, and you could do it too. Sometimes we thought that you were fading on us, but then I think, were you just getting the tires back underneath you and so forth? Because you definitely had a plan the entire race.
Well, no, I really didn't. It was to stay out of trouble on the first lap, and because I had to start 12th, I had a horrible week, actually a horrible year. And I actually wanted to take the year off after winning F last year, just kind of take it easy this year. But then
you would not take a year off after winning F. Come on.
This is the 50th, and going to Laguna next year, so who knows about that. So we came out with the GT Lite car, and had problems during the week, but we came back Friday, put it back together, and I knew I could get some way back up, and wasn't sure how much, and worked my way slowly, one car at a time, as best I could without screwing anything up. And on the restart, Bob Clark got back in front of me and won, and kind of got sideways. It made me check up.
What about the sideways in going into one? That was one of the,
I thought
a bit of excitement.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come back across, so I checked up, but it's front-wheel drive. I guess he just kept his foot in it and straightened back out, so I don't know.
Well, I think you do know. This car, I mean, it's so much smaller. It has so much frontal, so much less frontal area than some of the other cars, but it worked everywhere. I mean, they did not run over you on the straightaways, and in the corners, you were just catching them every single lap.
Yeah, well, some of them have the wings, and it probably could use a wing, and that would help. But I wasn't sure I wanted to convert a total to production yet. I mean, for the GT yet. But yeah, it was okay on power, and they put a big hole in the air. So if I get close, I could draft too.
Congratulations on really one of the best drives of the weekend.
Thank you very much.
That bronze medal looks pretty good around you.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not as good as last year, all right, but just go up and put it next to the goal.
I'm happy because this is GT Lite.
All right, congratulations. Well, all right, the sun's out. It's been out all day long, which is a very favorable thing, and one of the best races of the weekend closed this off. I got to say, you know, thanks to the entire crew up there, and especially it's great to work with Randy and Jeff. Randy, next year, I mean, if I could give you a little bit of hint, just a little more enthusiasm, okay? Because I think we got to just pick you up a little bit more. You have to show your love for the sport a little bit more. We're going to come down here and do our traditional farewell a bit later, but back to you guys now.
He was listening when I was talking about that Volvo down in F production, wasn't he?
Oh, I think so. I think so, yeah. Boy, I'll tell you what, Randy, that was an exciting race to call. Boy,
love it.
Seeing those guys go side by side, once again, the closest finish in Runoffs history since we started timing these cars electronically with transponders. Absolutely amazing finish.
And the joy on the face of Chris Bovis in the win, and the disappointment for Robert Lentz for being so close, all part of the drama and the joy here. Speaking of that joy, here's the victory lap. Victory laps are a beautiful thing. They don't do it in pro races so you can get on TV real quick. But I just love that about the SCCA runoffs, the history of going around celebrating with the flag. You got to savor the moment.
And 10 guys on our top 10 will definitely be savoring the moment, as well as all of our competitors here. But right now in GT Lite, it was Christopher Bovis, your winner and national champ. Bobby Lentz finishes second in his Nissan. Steve Sargis came all the way back, man. What a great run for him in 12th position, finishing in third. Bob Clark finishes fourth in his Honda CRX. Charles Leonard, didn't talk much about him. He gets into fifth. Kyle Diskin sixth. Brian Downey to seventh. Lance Stout in eighth. Peter Zeckert in ninth. And Jonathan Goodall in 10th.
When they were talking about the Chris Bovis car, I thought I heard the name Dentisi, who has a real history of fast CRX GT cars here at Road America. Jim Dentisi.
And look at that little gap right there, .007. How about that for that? And let's
unbelievable.
Go back and look at some of the action we saw. The start of our GT Lite category. Free wide down into Canada corner there.
Downey with his amazing run early in the race.
He sure did. Sargis moving up through the field. Saw a couple cars sideways and out through there. Boy, can't pray to really stick it to Bob Clark through there. And had that incident, caused a full course yellow, got back underway. And the battle on in GT Lite. Christopher Bovis, your national champion. Second place, Bobby Lentz, and Steve Sargis, the 8-time champion, finishes on the podium once again. Should be his 12th podium.
Bovis,
side by side here coming in. Well, for John Bizignano on pit lane, Randy Pope's in the booth. My name is Jeff Lepper. Thank you so much for joining us for our GT Lite category here at the 2013 SCCA Runoffs. The 2013 SCCA Runoffs are brought to you by Mazda. Zoom Zoom.
It's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You wish the freeway on-ramp was your personal racetrack. Well, buckle up, buddy, because the Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and events across the country, the SCCA has all the excitement you can handle. Dance the blacktop two-step with SCCA Solo. Get down and dirty with SCCA Rallycross. Or go wheel-to-wheel with SCCA Club Racing. Hit the track with the SCCA, where America's best drivers race.
He ignored the naysayers and never compromised. When Thomas Edison threw the switch, it changed everything. Engineering without compromise. This is the Mazda way. And this is the Mazda CX-5. SkyActiv technology makes it lighter yet stronger, earning a top safety pick. And more fuel efficient than any hybrid SUV. This is the uncompromised Mazda CX-5. What do you drive?